Hello dear viewers, this is a new video from skcomputerco presented by me, Sami Kiami. Today's session is about CSS animation. So, as part of the videos dedicated to discuss different methods to create animation that can be used on a web page, CSS animation is one of those main methods. Why CSS animation is important? Because it has a very high compatibility with most of the browsers, even those used with mobile devices. So if you are tending to target a wide audience, CSS animation method is a suitable method for you. In our example for today, we'll try to exploit most of the functionalities and techniques that you can use to create CSS animation. I will begin by creating the assets, then move to use those assets and animate. If you find yourself having the skills needed to create your own asset, you can feel free to skip the creation asset part. The final result of our tutorial for today will be that interactive animation. As you see, we have here a car with moving wheels and a parallax type of movement for the tree rows, a fixed mountain. Then if you just roll over the pedal here, gas pedal here, this will cause the gauge to move, speed up, and the car will be moving. Okay, let's begin. First, I will begin by creating the assets that I'm going to use in that tutorial. Feel free to use whatever tool you need to create those assets. For me, I'm using Adobe Illustrator, and I'll begin directly by creating a single file that contains all my assets. So I'll go to New, I'll name it whatever, asset file, assets file. And I don't care about the size because I'll be exporting each asset individually. Okay, so let's begin directly. I'll create the trees. Okay, and I will use the gradient here. Gradient, select the colors, that to that. Here use the same. I'll remove the stroke. Sorry. Okay, I'll create the lower part of the tree. Okay, use the brown color. One tree type. You can depend on one tree type, or you can use more than one type. Okay, I will group that. Group. I will use another type of trees. I'll make that faster. Okay. sorry. And another one. Okay, we can minimize the width to an acceptable width. Okay, now let's use something different, like okay. Smaller, and maybe we'll duplicate that. Okay, this is okay. Then we group all that. Just group it. Since we are going to export that as an image, PNG image, no need to optimize that on the level of vertex and simplify the path itself. So that's it. So you can create any pattern you want from those trees to create your own tree set. So this is one. You can just make this bigger, make that a bit longer. So this is one. So this is two. And I can create another bigger one for that by only changing a small part. And maybe making that taller. Sorry. Okay, I think we created our tree set. Okay. Now we'll just align those two and create a group of those. This is a group. Okay. This is for the trees. Now I will duplicate those by clicking Alt and drag to create the other row that will not have a very like it will have a monochrome color, only one color. So I will use only one color for the background. It can be something like that. Okay, maybe we'll with little green inside. No. No, too much of green. I think this is okay. Okay, so the one with the in back should be smaller. The one in front should be bigger, but I'll make it a little bit smaller and make those much smaller. Okay, so I have that group and the other group for the background. Okay, now I will create my mountain. So okay, this is my mountain, and for the lighter part I can just duplicate that, Alt and drag and move that, change the color to a lighter color, something like this, and just try to slice that part by using the knife tool. So I'll try to do something. So this is the part that we want. Sorry, it is not applied again. This is the knife tool. Sorry. Again, remove that part and apply that on the lower area, and this is our mountain. Okay, create the group, and this is our mountain. Okay, now for the car parts, so I'll move that here. I need to create the car. The car will be like this. Let's try to create a nice car. A comic one. Okay. I will make that maybe the color blue, black, whatever. Let's make it yellow. No. Dark blue. Okay. Now I'll make that better here. I'll remove those vertex that I don't need. This is nothing here. Just to simplify the shape a little bit. So we'll create the windows. We should set the colors for the windows. Okay, and front window. The back one. Okay, good enough. Now let's fix that part a little bit. Okay, this should be the car. I will add the front lights. Okay, and a gradient for the fill. Now for the back, no, one is enough. Again, should be red. Okay, I'm doing that for the stroke. I'm sorry, I should do that for the fill. Okay, that's all for the car. I need to create the tires now. Okay, I think that's good. Maybe it's better to change this part to different color. So I'll use the gray. With stroke outline. Okay, so that's it. What else we need? We have our mountain. Let's create a sun. Okay, I don't need to create a sun. I will use a div to create that. So that's it, I think. Do we need anything else? We will keep those if we find that we need something else. So how to export that? I will go to select each one of those and export individually. I'll create a folder on the desktop, new folder, emit animation, CSS animation assets, CSS animation assets. Okay, and I'll put all the assets that I create inside that. Okay, right click, export selection. This asset I will name monochrome mono trees. Okay, I'll export it to the folder I created, CSS animation assets. Okay, export asset. Now for the trees, I'll export that as export selection. Trees. Export. For the mountain, export selection. Mountain. Export asset. For the car, I will export the body and the tires in different image. So all that in one image. I didn't group all that together. Should be grouping that. Group. Let's move it to check. Yes, everything is okay. Right click, export selection, and now this is car body. Export and export tires. Okay, that's it for the assets. Now we finished from assets. I can create something for the road and other things, but I will use colors and div to generate that. No need to create a specified assets for that. So I'll close and I'll save that Illustrator file, assets file, in our folder for only to as reference if we need to add something else. Okay, that's all. Okay, goodbye. I'll be using bracket to create our code. So brackets, you can download brackets for free. It's an open source software that you can use to edit web pages. File, new. Okay, I will save that as CSS Animation HTML. Save as CSS Animation file .html. Put it on desktop. Save. Okay, I will first begin with doc type. HTML, then HTML, and head, then body. As I mentioned, our method will be pure CSS. I will not be using any other JavaScript or anything else. Everything is totally CSS based. Okay. So to minimize the number of files, I will put everything in the style part. So I'll add here style and put all my styles inside instead of creating a separated style sheet. So what I will need first of all, I will need a sky. So I'll create divs for everything. So div, this div class equals sky. Okay. Now, what other than sky? I need to have the road, the sun, the mountain, the car with all its parts as the car body and tires. Okay. Now, other than the car, I will be having the gauge, and the pointer of the gauge that will move when I click on the pedal, and I will have the gas pedal. What else I will have? What else? That's okay. Trees, of course. Now all that, I'll put trees here. First the mono trees, then the trees. Okay, so let's begin. I created the div for everything. If we need, we will need other things, but I will add it in turn. Okay, so first of all, in the style part, I need to create the style for the sky. So sky, it will be everything should have the position set, so we can control the position. Okay, so the position is absolute. Okay, the sky will be 100% width 100%, so it will cover the full width. Height will be 300 pixel. The I think that's it. Anything else? Background color, so I will use aquamarine. Now I will jump back to that. So as you see, this is okay. Now let's check the mountain part. So mountain, sun, first of all the sun. So it will have position, okay, absolute. Then the width, let's say 100 pixel. The height should be the same because it will be rounded, 100%. 100 pixel. And I should set the border radius, border radius to 50 pixel. So I think this will make it rounded, and the background color should be yellow or something to represent the sun color. No, yellow. Okay, so save and move back here. So as you see, this is the sun. I should specify the right, I should make it left 50% as example. Okay, this will be good for the sun. Now for the mountain, also I'll copy all that. Okay, position absolute, width. So the width and height should be set depending on the image that I have. So I will add the background image for that div. Background image, and this will be taken from the URL, which is the CSS Animation assets, and from that I will go and select the mountain PNG. Okay. Something very nice with brackets, that it will show your image and it will show the dimension, and you can see that my image dimension is 619 by 285, sorry, 95. So I should set the width to 619. Okay, so the width 619. For the height pixel, for the height I have the 295. Okay, that's it. So, and the background color, no background color. This is for the mountain, and let's move, refresh. Nothing appeared. Y, mountain, position absolute, background image, blah blah blah, width. Okay, we need to put semicolon here, and this is our mountain. Okay, now I need to add the background for the part where the trees will appear. So I will add, this is the part that I didn't add actually, which is the background for the trees. So I'll add div here. I'll call it side bank. Okay, the side bank will be something like sky. Side bank. Which will have the width 100%, the height 300, okay, pixel, absolute. It should have a shifted. The background is not aquamarine. It will be something like brown or chocolate. I don't know. Save. Fresh. So I should shift that down. So top. 300. This should be the height of the first one. The mountain, the height of the mountain is 300, so it should be shifted by 300 pixel. Okay, and I will set the height only to 100 pixel. This is enough. Or 150. So let's check. Okay, not good enough. Till 300, just to check if I'm, no, it's okay. 300, save. Now let's put the trees over that. We can make it darker. Actually, chocolate is not good. Should make it a little bit darker. Dark red maybe. Okay. Maybe. Let's use something like yeah. Let's go back to the other one, and then we select our color depending on the case. So this is let's work on the trees. So for the trees, I will have tree. So for the trees, it is the something like the sky. But for trees, or mono trees first, mono trees, and this is for the trees. It shouldn't have any background. It should not have the width will be 100%, and it should have the background image using the URL similar to the mountain. So this is the one, and this is the one here. For mono trees entry, since it will have an animation, so I'll try to make it, to break it to multiple lines so it will be clearer. I'll try to zoom here if it is better for you. I don't know. So this is why I'll break it to different line so you can still see everything clearly. Okay. And that's it. Now for the mono trees, I'll try to set, this is the mountain. As you see, I'll set it to mono trees. This is mono trees. And for the trees, I'll set it to, I'm clicking on Control space just to show those options. And this is trees. Okay. Now for the size, if I go over trees, it's 329 by, so what I'm interested in is the 187. So this is the height, so 187. And for the other one, it is 148 pixel. Okay, so there's something important here. I should decide for the background repeat. So here I will say repeat X. I need to repeat it on X. For the mountain, since we selected a mountain that covered the whole area, so we didn't have to do anything. But if we want to do it in the right way, we should specify here also something like background repeat, and should be no repeat. Okay, to not repeat that at all. For the trees and mono trees, we should set it to repeat X because we want it to repeat only on the X axis. I think that's all. Let's move back to save it, move back here, crash. So all our trees now are on the top. We need to shift it down and a little bit to make it separation between those two. So I will put on the trees, I'll put top will be something like 500, I think, pixel. Not 500. Okay, maybe 300. We will test that. 400. And for that, the other one, mono trees, let it be something like 300. Let's check. Trash. Okay, no, not good. 100 by 300 or 200. No. 300, 200, I think it's okay. Now the color of the trees in comparison to the mountain is not good, so we will need to change that. This should be more green. export selection, and this will be the mono trees. Export mono, I'll remove that mono trees, yes, and this will be mono trees. Save. Let's check now. Now let's raise those trees a little bit up, so 250. I think this is okay. Okay, now let's move those trees. Let's move those trees. To create an animation, the only thing that I need to create is to add an animation here. So I'll say here animation. I have actually two options to specify animation, animation name. So I can say that animation name. I have the animation, you see here, if I just put that, I have animation delay, animation direction, duration, all those related things to animation. I can put it separately, or I can use it, or I can use the fast notation. Okay, so I'll specify first the name of the animation. I'll name it animate trees. This is the name of the animation. I will use the duration now, animation duration. So the duration is 2 seconds. Okay, I can put it in milliseconds or seconds. The animation time function. So the animation time function can be something like linear, ace in, ace out. To make that very create that very easy, and you can visualize that the Chrome browser has its embedded tool to be able to control what it called a cubic Bayesian type of time function. So you can use that to enhance the way your animation applied. Okay, so we'll see that. So animate trees, so this is the duration, so 2 seconds, ace in, ace out. As I told you, we have a lot of options here. So like delay, if you have a delay, you can add the delay just to make it begin after some time. Okay, fill mode, what do you want to do after the animation finished? Animation iteration count, I will set it to finite. Okay, the number I can set it to specified number, or I can set it to infinite. Animation name. This is the name iteration count, the animation name, play state, if it was played or play or pause. Okay, so for me, I will use that animate trees, 2 seconds, ace, and in night. Okay, that's it for the animation of trees. I will copy that, the same thing here. Now this will decide what is the time that will be what is the time, what's the timing function, what is the number of counts, and the name of the animation. I will name that animate mono trees, because there will be difference between the two type of trees. So mono trees. Okay, now what I will do is uh, defining this and those animations. So this will be done through keyframes, add keyframes, and the name of animation. So the first one is animation, animate mono trees. This is the name of the animation. I'll open the brackets. Then I need to specify where from to begin and where to end. What will change between the from and the end. I can use from and or to, sorry, from to, and I will put what will change. But I can also use 0%, 50%, 100%. So since the percentage will give me more choices, so I'll stick with percentage. So 0% will be that, 100% will be that. In our case, no difference. So in 0%, the background image position will be 0 as example pixel. So this will specify a 0 shift for the background position. For the 100, I will have background position set to the full length of my picture, just to make it continuous animation. So it will be 148. This is for mono trees. I'll repeat the same for trees. Animate trees. And it will change because we will have different size of the image. So it will be 187, 187. Okay. Now what I will do is change the timing between those two. So the trees will be slower than the trees will be faster than the mono trees, because the distance will show parallax. So we are trying to imitate the parallax effect. So this will be slower, and the mountain will be fixed, totally fixed. Okay, and the sun also. Let's try to save and preview. Okay, as you see, there's something wrong here. The async is causing problem. I told you that we can control the functionality and the time functions and see options that of what we can do through Google Inspector. So I will click Ctrl+Shift+I to show the inspector of Google. And as you see, Google, if I go to element, I can check as example the trees, and as you see I will have here the animation, and you see here this is the ace, and if I click on that editor here, there is a small icon here. If I click on it, I can control the ace as a cubic Bezier path. So this will decide how the animation will be applied. So if I use this, it will be something like linear. Okay, if I make it like that, you see here, this is the preview of the animation. Okay. In my case, for the tree movement, I don't need that at all. I need to apply a linear type of timing function. Okay. In other types of animation, you might need to apply that, and you see how useful is that editor. And you can even use some of the preset functions. Okay, this is in out cubic, this is fast out slow in, etc. So very nice editor here. This inspector is perfect. Anyway, let's go back and fix that by specifying a linear type of movement. We don't want any async, linear. Okay, let's apply. So it's linear, but there's something wrong with that. It's just jumping. And the problem here is related to the movement direction, and we have problem with jumping. So let's check that. Let's go to the direction. We are beginning from 0 to 148 pixel. We should do the from 148 to 0, and here from 187 to 0. And for the trees, this should be okay. Let's try it now. Now this is jumping. This is jumping. This is not good. We need to make it smoother. To make it smoother, we needed to move to the full length. So let's see what we are doing here. CSS Animation, repeat X with animate 1 second, linear, infinite. And the other one similar. The height is 187. Now this is the height. The width is not like that. Let's check the width. The width is 329. So this is the error. So we are putting the height instead of width. So this is 261. 261. And the other one, what? 329. 329. So now perfect, but the mono is faster than the other one, which is wrong. This should be inversed. So the trees should be faster than the mono trees, so it should be something like this. More time for the mono trees. Okay, so this is perfect. Still do not like the color of the round here. Anyway, we'll try to fix it after finishing everything. Okay, so let's try now to create the to use the car and the road. So for the road, this is the trees. Then let's try to create the road. So road. Let's zoom in to make things better. Sorry. So for the road, I will use position absolute. The width, as usual, the width is 100%. The height, I think it should be 300 pixel. Also, you can use percentage for height to make things better. and the background color is, we can set it as black or something near to black, so something like 111 will be okay. Let's check. Oh, sorry, let's check. We need to shift that down and make it 200 only. We need to shift it down, so make it 200 pixel only, and make the top, since we've set it as absolute, so the top will be 400 pixel, no, 500 pixel. Save that. Okay, too much. 450. Okay, perfect. Okay, and it's nearly black. Make it a little bit lighter to yes, better. So this is our road. Now let's put our car on it. So let's have our car. Go to car. And actually inside our car we have a lot of things. We have the car body, so let's use the car body, and the tires, what we call those, the tires. So let's use the position relative. Why I'm using position relative? Because actually I'm putting the car body and tire inside the car div. As you see here, it's included in the car div, so I can use relative instead of absolute. So relative, and for the car body I will use background color, background image also, and URL, and it should be animation, CSS animation assets. Then I will use the car body, and the car body width is 405 pixels, so the width will be 405 pixels. You see how flexible is brackets? So this is perfect. Now, not yet, the height is 140 pixel. Okay, now, and I don't need to repeat that, so I will put it as background, since it will be moving, so I'll break that as I did with the other one. Anything with animation, I will break it to be able to show you things in details. So with height, and I need to set the background repeat image, or repeat, no repeat. Okay, what else I need to, now let's move from that to do the same exactly with the tires, but by changing the image itself and the width and the height. So position relative, this will be the tires, and no repeat, and for the tires I will have 367, so 300 pixel and 67. Now if we move here, we will not see our car because it disappears actually, because the car is not completed. So for the car to be completed, I will use position absolute, and I will put the width and the height, the full width and the height. I'll pick 405 width, 405 pixel by height, which is 150 pixel maybe. Let's try that. 5, and make it smaller. Okay, not yet. Let's move it down. So move it down. This is the car. Right. Now to move it down, I should specify top 450 pixel. Let's try to push a little bit to push the tires a little bit to the left, from the left. So the left is 100 pixel. No, 50 pixel maybe. 5. Let's try to zoom out. I need to push it up. And those tires has a red stroke, and this is not good. Anyway, I'll fix that later. Okay, so I'll push everything up. This should have a top minus 30 pixel maybe, and all the car will be pushed up to be 400 maybe pixel, like that. Yes, a little bit till 50 here. Wow. And 60 here. Sorry, I'm moving a lot, but this is too bad to have this truck outside. I need to reopen. I'll reopen it in the background and then fix it directly and re-export it. Okay, so this is our car rolling on our road with parallax effect, and let's do more. Now we need to apply a transition on our car to make it move when we put the mouse over the gas pedal. Now let's create the pedal and the gauge and the pointer. We did use pedal and gauge and pointer, but actually we didn't create the pointer here. This is the only thing that we forgot to do. So let's create the pointer, which will be something like a rectangle. And we will add this here. Make that taller. Sorry, only this vertex, and combine those two together with Pathfinder and change the color to red and create maybe a circle right there. Okay. Again, export that and name it pointer. Okay. That's it. Now let's go back and create that pointer here, the class dot the gauge itself. So for the gauge, I will use dot gauge and create position. For the gauge, it will be inside. Okay, no position. It will be absolute position. Absolute. Okay. For the shape, it will be something like half circle. So let's make it with width 100 pixel and height 50 pixel. I think we should make it bigger. 100 pixel and this 150. And I'll wait till I check the size of the pointer that we have created. So I'll go to the pointer directly, pointer, and see the position. It is also absolute. Okay. And the image background, background image, the URL is from our images assets, is the pointer, and the size is 107 by 90. So I will make it 107 by 90. So I'll make that 214, and this 107, and it should have. Why I make it twice? Just to make it able to do the turn, and I'll give here a background, the border radius, border top, border bottom left and bottom right. Bottom left, it will be 107 pixel, and okay, and border bottom right radius also 107 pixel. Okay, so again, the background will be background color. No, the background color, yes, will be white, and the border itself will be solid, 5 pixels, with the width 5 pixels, and black okay, let's check the gauge. This is the gauge. Perfect. Now the pointer, I should see the pointer. The pointer will have absolute background image, blah blah blah, and it should have width that fits the size 107, and height that will be 19 pixels, and here I should write pixels. Okay, so as you see here, this is for the pointers. Again, this is our pointer, but as you see, the pointer should be shifted to the middle, so it will rotate based on the middle of the gauge. Okay, and I'll push it to the right, directly to the right, just to move away from the mountain, so it will be better. So I'll check here for the gauge. I'll say right, so 0 pixel, so it will be pushed to the right. And for this also right, 0 pixel, so that way it will be just okay. What I have as parts, I still have the pedal, the gas pedal, so I'll need to add the gas pedal. So for the gas pedal, dot gas pedal, for the gas pedal, I need to specify position also. Sorry. Should have absolute width. So width is 100 pixel. So it should be less than that, 50 pixel. Height 100 pixel. And for the from the right, it should have about, if it was 214, let's push it to 215, 50 pixel. Refresh, nothing. And the background color, should be 222. So this is our gas pedal. Okay, let's animate. So something very important here that we should take care of. Actually, I'll do that animation using transition. So to do transitions, you should specify transition in the parts that will move. Okay, so you should specify transition in the part that will move. So what will move is the car, the whole car. So I should specify here transition. Okay. Now I can specify transition, delay, duration, property, timing function. This is similar to having the to have the animation set in different properties. Now I can set it directly, but what I need to set is the time that I will wait before the transition, the duration of the transition itself, and what property I will change, and the timing function like I show you in the ace in, ace out, whatever, cubic Bezier. Okay, so I will specify it directly as the delay. The thing that I will change is transform. Transform will embed everything like rotation, like translating, changing the position, like scaling. All that is transform. So transform, and this transform will take 2 seconds. Okay, and the timing function will be ace. I can change it later on. Okay, but what I'll change is transform. This goes also for the pointer. The same things. Transform, blah blah blah. And the gas pedal. All that will transform. But what will happen actually? So you see, I'm relating everything to the same thing here. Now, actually, I should relate that to h over the pedal itself. Okay. But if I did do that, so I can go to the pedal itself and I say gas pedal dot gas pedal h over. Just want to translate just to check if it is moving or not. Translate y 20 pixel 20 pixel flash. So it's moving, but why it's not 3D rotation, I'll check that later. Okay, so it's applying, but this movement will be applied only on gas pedal, and this is something I don't want it to happen. So what I need to happen is to move a lot of things with one h over. So even though if I put something like car here, this will not be effective. Okay, so what I'll need to do is to create a holder or container for all the things that will change and try to differentiate the different changes based on the container and the sub class. So to make it more understood, so I have the car that should move, I have the pointer that should move, I have the gas pedal that should move. So I'll put everything that should move together with the same thing, and I will create a container. I'll push that. So the car, pointer, and gas pedal, all that should move. And I'll put that, this is in transition, and I'll put that inside a div, and I'll call that div, I'll give it a class equal container. Let's call it control container. Okay, and close that div here. That way everything is included in control container. Now if I want something to happen, so what I will say here is dot control container h over if that is h over specifically gas pedal apply that on gas pedal control container. gas pedal, whatever. Okay, so the gas pedal should move like this. And we repeat that for all the parts. As example, for the pointer, we'll make something similar. Pointer, we will make a transform also, but this transform will be rotate 180 degree. This is for the pointer to do a half turn. Okay. For the car itself, I need to translate it over X to make it move like 500 or 400 pixel. Let's try that. Fresh. Yeah, it's moving. Everything is it's moving. Yeah. But when I click on the car, or when I click on the pedal, or when I click on the pointer itself, this is happening. So what I need is to make that happens, not if I click on anything in controller. I need it to happen only on the pedal. So what I will do is applying something very important, which is remove the ability to apply event from some of those parts. I go to the pointer. The pointer should not do anything when it is edge over. It is part of control container, but it shouldn't pass any event. So I'll say here pointer events. Pointer is not my pointer here. I'm sorry for that matching, but this does not have anything to do with that. Pointer events, it is a way to tell the browser that do not accept event from that part. So I'll say here none, and I'll do the same. This is a very important property actually. I didn't see it before in many tutorials, so please take care of this. For the gas pedal, I need it to generate events, so I will leave it, and I'll go to the part where I have the car itself. So the car shouldn't do anything, so shouldn't generate or trigger any event. So I say here pointer events none. Let's try now. Now the pedal itself is causing the movement, but it is moving. I'm translating it on X, and this is wrong, so I should go and change that. So I'll fix things here, like the car body part. Car body is okay. The car should move, transform in a transition, and I should move the car. So for the car itself, I should go there, and for controller container, I didn't create anything for the car, so this should be for the car. So okay, now the car is moving. Now the car is going back, moving, going back. Now let's try to move that pointer up to see it at least. So I will move the pointer, the gauge down, and the pointer up, so I can put it somewhere here. before the control container, so it's okay. Now I have some things to change, like the origin for that to move. For changing the origin of the pointer movement, I should go to the pointer itself and specify something called translate origin or transform origin, and I'll specify it to left here, and this should solve the problem. Okay, now for the car, everything is okay. For the gauge is nearly okay, but for this is bad. We should set the rotation, the 3D rotation. So let's try to have a 3D rotation on the gas pedal. So it's also transform, but we need to go to pedal, gas pedal, and specify rotate 3D, and specify 1 0 0 and the 30 degree, which is the rotation angle. I think we need to specify perspective, maybe. Let's set a perspective. Maybe without perspective nothing is changing. So let's go to the gas pedal and set perspective. Perspective like 500 pixel. This perspective is good when you want something to have a perspective projection when rotation on 3D. So let's try to refresh. Nothing is changing. Actually it is rotating, but I don't know why nothing is changing. Let's try to change the rotation. I'm sorry, we should use here commas. So 1 comma 0 comma 0, and this will be the vector of rotation, and then the degree of rotation will be 30 degree as example. So if we go back to our animation, as you see it is moving. We can change the degree to make it as example 90. So nice. Whoa, very good. Sorry, I noticed that my head is covering part of the example here. So this is the final result. This was all for our tutorial for today. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or leave a comment for me. If you have any question, I can just follow up with you. Thanks again, and see you in the next part talking about animation with JavaScript.